Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday live stream at Trace Trades. If you're not in the server, make sure you click the link in the description of this video so you could join and then attend the live streams live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You do not need to be a premium member to attend. These are open to everyone, just here to talk ideas and maybe get some questions answered. But just to get right into it, as far as the watch list goes, first I have Apple. Just really simple trend line here. Looks very strong. Backups from all of our moving averages. 2820 SMA just crossed over the 50. Looks very good to just break this, pop up to at least like 154 for a shorter term trade, but obviously in the longer term, we're looking to break these 157 level and move up to the 160s for all-time highs. Next to your BA, have had this wedge on watch for a while now. Finally looks like it has strength to break. Like, look at the volume we saw on Friday in that break. As soon as every single thing from open until close, it's all been straight buying. That's a very strong candle above all of our moving averages now. It might take a couple days, consolidate, wait for those lines to catch up before we move higher, but this definitely looks like a significant break. Even if we pull up our weekly here, it's still poking out right there, about to run into the 50. That's probably going to be our first trouble spot there, getting over the 50. After that, it's just straight shot to 280 though. So this is definitely something to keep on watch over the next coming weeks. Disney, I'm in a swing position for Disney right now. I think I'm going to roll it. It's been defending this little demand zone pretty well. Every single time it comes down and touches it, moves back higher, but it's having trouble reaching this higher trend line. Like if we see back here in May, bounced off our zone here, but then just consolidated for a bit. Eventually got there, but it was much lower by that time. So what we're really looking for here is to see momentum in the name, and I think that might come a lot with like these recent like earnings report, depending on like what market sentiment is in general over like the next week, that'll give us a better idea to where like Disney can go. So probably this week I'll end up rolling my January contracts to like March. March is seeming like a good candidate. And again, flip on the weekly real quick. Just looks very easy. All these dips are getting bought up down here. So if you average down here, great. I'm probably just more looking at the time aspect than the price aspect. I'm probably looking to roll down to March. All right, next we have Lucid. Crazy volume over the last week. Absolutely nuts. We're seeing it just continually move higher. So this is going to be a momentum play. Really, I wanted to play it off of the hourly here, off of this long wick that we saw on the 29th, on the opening candle of the 29th. So I really wanted to play it off of here, but we ran into this as we were closing on Friday. I was not at my desk, so I missed this break. I'm hoping to catch it on Monday. Maybe we might come back, tap on it real quick. Like if we look at the 5 minute, come back, tap on this line real quick, and then take off. But this is definitely a momentum play. I would say take it light just because if it fails, it's going to fail pretty fast back to 40. And the premiums on this, again, because it's been getting so much volume, so much momentum, the premiums on this name are very high. So play it safe, only risk what you're willing to lose as always. But I definitely can see this name continuing much higher. And again, just really fat gap as soon as we get over that like 44 area. So that's our target for now. It's probably going to take some time to break through that and then fill the gap as well. So along with maybe our quick momentum trade, I might think about grabbing some longer term contracts. Maybe not like 2023, but maybe like mid to early 2022. That sounds like a better time frame. But again, like the premiums on this are very high, so just be careful, don't oversize. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a watch on Monday though. MU, fat wedge here, finally starting to poke out. It's been getting sold off a lot. In my opinion, it's very oversold here. Really what I'm just looking for here is for just momentum to keep up. I want buyers to keep stepping in. And if it needs to consolidate for a day or two, that's fine. But if it starts like hugging this bottom line here, I'm going to cut the trade pretty quickly. Because again, this has just been getting sold off for months now. So if it doesn't see substantial buying volume on this break is still likely not to be accepted yet. But again, from a technical aspect, if we ignore like how long it's been getting sold off, if we just like zoom in, moving averages all stacked up, breaking this trend line here. It looks great from a short-term perspective, but again, you just have to keep in mind over the long term, like it's been getting sold off. Like there are very, very little buyers in sight. Even when we do bounce off this bottom line, like as you can see, like over here in June, like it didn't even make it to the top. Here, it didn't make it to the top. It didn't make it back up to like August, which is how we can draw this line. And then again, just throughout August, September, October, never touched it until like obviously most recently when we popped up pretty hard. Semis overall have been very, very strong, so seeing MU kind of get sold off like this, it's a toss up. Honestly, it's whether you like the company or not. It's either it's an undervalued company right now, especially with all the attention semis are getting, or just people like other semis much better. And then it's up to MU to really command a market share, and whether or not they can do that over the long run, that's a much longer conversation, obviously. But again, this is what I'm looking at for it. If it can step up, start getting some momentum, it'll definitely catch my attention though for a revisit back to the mid to lower 80s for the first stop. Next is PayPal. PayPal has just been getting absolutely sold off ever since that Pins acquisition news that turned out to not even be happening. Really, I think investors are just waiting for earnings at this point. Earnings reports on the 8th, so we only have to wait a day for us to be able to hop back in and see what's up with PayPal. If earnings, it really depends on what earnings reports here. Um, Again, from a technical aspect, this should bounce, but it's earnings. Like I might take a small lotto, but overall, just waiting for that report to come out. If we bounce off here, reclaim the 8, like theoretically, reclaim the 8 EMA, this light blue line, I'd probably look for some like December or maybe January contracts to try to catch some of this ride back up to the 260, 270, and 280 marks. Other than that, though, like if it misses earnings or it stays flat off earnings, I'll probably just keep it as like a side watch. Probably nothing major. But as of right now, like if earnings weren't tomorrow, like this is a very nice setup, very tight risk reward. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait for earnings to report, see what's up after that, and then reevaluate from there. I just wanted to point this out because this looks like a very nice setup. Gonna save the Qs and SPY for just after this last one. XLF, so banks, and I also have airlines on here. If you've been trading with us for a while, like we point out the trend all the time. Banks and airlines have been running together, so I think this might be set up again for this week. So definitely something to keep an eye on. For XLF, I kind of want December or January contracts. Just be able to have enough time to either ride this wedge out, be able to take some downside too, and then just play for this break and then move to the upper like 41 first, obviously, and then probably looking at 42 as the second one. Just gonna take it as whole numbers. But again, that's going to be a much more like adaptability, like just play it by day, see what the market's looking like, see like what volume more importantly is looking like. So that's going to be more just going to have to play it by day. But again, very tight setup, very good risk reward. Even if you want to take it straight off the open on Monday, stop below the 20 or stop below like 39.85 here. Again, that's a solid trade right there. I'm going to try to time our entry a little bit better so we don't have to hold through too much chop. But again, like this is just solid risk reward here. First off, talking about broad market SPY, straight up from when we pointed out our lows all the way down here, absolutely straight up all the way to 470. Heavy extension from our moving averages though. Big extension from our 8 EMA, about 6 points there. And then very big extension from our 20, so that's like 18 points there. 50's way down here. I don't think we have to worry about the 50 too much, unless again, like just I'm more concerned with the 20 here. I definitely think this week we do see like a pullback at least to our 8. If the volume gets really intense and there's lots of sellers, like everyone's just slapping bids, then yeah, like I'll probably switch and target the 20. For now, just targeting the 8. Wait for it to drop there, buy it up, or again around this like 460 mark is probably like a solid point. But that's just me trying to give a point now. Just gonna wait, see what it looks like when we actually get there. So again, wouldn't size heavy into too many swings just because of just heavy extension from our moving averages. Qs, again, like pretty much same thing here, just fat extension from our moving averages. Continual strength to just keep it churning up higher and higher. Again, everyone's gonna say it's overvalued. That's fine, you can say that, but in the long run, like you do want to catch some of these moves. So we are gonna be trying to play the upside on almost all of the names on our list here, but we just want to keep in mind that it can come back down pretty quickly. So that's all for this week. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link in the description so you could join the stream and watch and participate live in the Q&A.